Hi, Joyce at Delightful Quilting and Sewing, a knolting dealer in Avon, New York. So this lovely little machine here is an older knolting, an IS 2K model, stitch regulated with the IntelliStitch on it. No longer manufactured, of course, but still very serviceable and very useful. And I came by this machine a number of years ago when someone was selling an estate. And I used it in my studio for some time, had it on Quilt Imagine for a while, and eventually sold it maybe 3 years ago or so to a local quilter. The other day I got a little message from her. She was having trouble with it. It sounded terrible when she turned it on to warm it up. So we went down and took a look at it, and the hand wheel right here, you could barely turn that and move it. And so my husband Ron went down with me, and we decided we would bring it up to our studio rather than try and figure out what was wrong with it. So we took a look at it. Ron took it apart. We have the back end off, which I'm going to show you what the back end looks like inside. And basically what he did, we took the cover off here, checked in here to see if we could see anything. Again, trying to turn the hand wheel in the front or the one in the back here, which is off right now. It was impossible. You could barely turn that with your hand. So what Ron ended up doing was doing some diagnostics on the inside here. And in order to do that, he ended up having to take the belt off here. So I'll let him go on and explain what he did, and then I'll show you what the real issue was with this machine.
I went ahead and took the belt off, which involved some of the mechanical part, and that it took off the reader down here and loosened up the belt tensioner. After the belt was off, I had to take this pulley off as part of it. Then we could turn the bottom shaft separately from the top shaft. The bottom shaft down here turned freely, like it should. The top one did not. So diagnostically, that meant our issue was here at the top. Seeing nothing wrong in this area here, I went to the other end and did more inspection in here, and I had a little light that had a sharp point focus on it, and I noticed then that I could see something down between this hand wheel and the mechanism or the framework that holds it in there. And that shouldn't have been there. So what I did is loosened the screws on this hand wheel. When I did that, the thing popped backwards. And lo and behold, guess what I found in there? If you look right down here, you can see what I got out of there.
This is a pile of yards and yards and yards of thread. So what had happened was this particular owner had not been taking the thread out of the take-up lever right here when she was warming up her machine. She was warming up her machine faithfully, but when you don't take this thread out back here, what happens is, or if she just leaves it loose, it gets sucked right in, right here by that flywheel. And it just winds and winds and winds and winds. And what happened was it just kept winding over a period of time, probably not with just one time. My guess is it happened over a period of time, and it just kept winding more and more thread into that space in there, taking that up until it actually bound the machine up and the machine wasn't able to stitch. So this is just a good reminder how important it is. First of all, it's important that you warm up your machine, but before you turn your machine on to warm it up, pull your thread out from behind the take-up lever, and what I do is, so that it doesn't get sucked in, I actually wind it around my handle a couple times right here so that it's out of the way. It's not going to be up in this area, and I know that it's not going to come off of my handle here because I've got it tight around that handle, and it's secure. So very, very important, that little thing about taking it out of your take-up lever.
I had about an hour and a half in getting this out, but I had some special tools here with a special hook that I could reach in there with and be able to pull it out and then use pliers to pull on it. So,
Yeah. So it's
if you do this, you could plan on a lot longer than I did.
right. So just an important reminder today. Definitely warm up your machine, but by all means, take the thread out of the take-up lever. We were able to take care of her machine here, but some people might end up having to send it into Knowlton for them to work on. We'll get this back to her probably yet today, and it's only been here since Saturday. And she'll be back quilting again. So, yeah, that little pile of thread wound around that shaft in there was enough to bind up the machine so that it didn't want to sew. So that's it for today. I'll see you again soon. This is not a Tech Tuesday video. Hopefully I'll get one posted tomorrow. So thanks, Ron.
You're welcome.
See you next time.